Welcome to the National Science and Math Quiz. Today's contest, the first in the semi-finals, is between Keta Senior High School and Presbyterian Boys Senior High School. Before we meet the contestants, let's take a message from our sponsors.
Government, through an act of parliament, set up the Ghana Education Trust Fund, GET Fund, to provide funds to supplement the provision of education at all levels.
We have endeavored for the last 7 years to reach every corner of this country, and I can say without any fear of contradiction that there's not a corner in this country that we have not got at least 2-3 projects going.
All the 7 public universities, 10 polytechnics, the 24,387 primary schools, 7,423 junior high schools, 493 senior high schools, but 38 colleges of education have undergone a period of renaissance and rapid facelifting. Needless to say, the Ghana Education Trust Fund has paid its dues in that direction.
Keta Senior High School is on my left and is represented by
Aboflare Lali, SS3.
Elisagmabla, Form 3. Keteku Yaira, SS3.
You are welcome, gentlemen. On my right, we have Presbyterian Boys Senior High School represented by
Roland Krieger, SS3.
Ebako de Daniel, SS3.
Dow William, SS3.
You are also welcome. As is our custom, the contest will come to you in 5 rounds. We begin with the round for fundamental concepts. The questions in this round are very simple. We would like to test your knowledge of basic principles in science and mathematics. A correctly answered question fetches 3 points. A wrongly answered question is passed on for a bonus point. Good luck. Let's begin round 1. We'll start on my left with Keta Senior High School. But we'll start with a preamble, then I'll come to you, Keta, all right? Okay. This is your preamble to both schools. Find the measure of the internal angle of a regular, and you give me the angle in one attempt, okay? So I'll describe what it is that you are going to find the internal angle for when I get to you. So Keta Senior High, a regular decagon. Yes, Delali.
144 degrees.
That's correct. Presbyterian Boys, a regular dodecagon. Daniel.
150 degrees.
That's right. Okay, next pair of questions. Keta, the first and second ionization energies of lithium are 520 and 7,300 kilojoule per mole, respectively. Why this large difference? Yes, Yaira.
In the first ionization energy of lithium, the electron that is to be removed is in the 2s orbital. This orbital is further away from the nucleus than in the second ionization energy, where the electron is removed in the 1s orbital. And since the 1s orbital is closer to the nucleus than the 2s orbital, there is more effective nuclear charge on it, and hence removing an electron there is more difficult, so more energy will be expended.
2 out of 3. Everything you said was true, but I wanted you to add a little bit more. The removal of the second electron involves removal of an electron from a positively charged ion. So after you remove the first one, it becomes positively charged. And so removal of the second one becomes even more difficult. In addition to that, as you correctly mentioned, you are removing an electron from an inner shell. All right. Presbyterian Boys. The second ionization potential of beryllium is almost twice the value of the first ionization potential. Why this relatively small difference? Roland.
The first electron is removed from the 2s orbital for beryllium, and the second one is also removed from the 2s orbital. Since they are found in the same orbital, in the same shell, the energies are almost twice. When you remove the first one, it becomes positively charged. And since they're in the same shell, the second energy required is almost twice that of the first one.
I'll give you 2 out of 3. Once again, everything you said is right, but I wanted you to link to the difference, which is not so large, okay? So you remove the first one, it becomes positively charged, but in spite of that, because you are still removing from the same shell, then it's not going to be as great as what we saw in the first question. All right. In one attempt, in analyzing the motion of a certain object, a graph of its speed is plotted against time, which yields a smooth curve. What does the area under the curve represent? Remember, one attempt. Yes, Delali.
Distance.
Yes, it's the distance. Presbyterian boys, one attempt. 2 lead balls, one weighing 100 grams and the other weighing 1,000 grams, are dropped from the top of a 5-story building at the same time. Which one will reach the ground first? Yes, Dav.
They all reach the ground at the same time.
Yes. Next pair of questions to be answered in one attempt. Keta, which group of mammals is referred to as eutherian mammals? Delali.
They are organisms which excrete uric acid as their main nitrogenous waste.
That's incorrect for a bonus. Yes, Daniel.
They are mammals that are viviparous, that is, they give birth alive.
No. There's something specific about them. They are placental mammals. Placental mammals. That means they form a placenta during pregnancy. Okay? That's why they are called eutherian. All right, your own question, Presbyterian boys. Which group of mammals is referred to as marsupials? One attempt. Yes, Daniel.
The young develops in a pouch of the mom, which is after some time, like outside the organism. The young develops.
The young one is brought forth undeveloped, and it develops in the pouch, in the mother.
I'll give you the mark, but remember, when I tell you one attempt, I really mean it. Okay, so I'll give you the mark. Yes, so they have a pouch for carrying the young ones. Solve the equation. 3x minus 8 all over 2 is equal to 6x plus 1 all over 5. Yes, Yaira?
S is 14.
That's right. Presbyterian boys, solve the equation. 2x plus 6 all over 5 is equal to x minus 5 all over 2. Yes, Dav?
X is equal to 27.
Try again. Yes, Daniel?
X is equal to 37.
Yes, it's 37. All right. Last pair of questions for this round, also to be answered in one attempt. You are going to fill in the blanks. The pacemaker of the heart is made up of blank. Yes, Delali.
The cardiac muscles.
Okay, you had one attempt. 2 out of 3. Is the cardiac muscle and nerve fibers. Cardiac muscle and nerve fibers. Presbyterian boys, please fill in the blanks. Your blanks are lettered, meaning I'm expecting the answers to be in the proper order. One attempt. The flow of blood from the heart to the lungs and back to the heart is referred to as blank A, while the flow of blood to the rest of the body and back to the heart is referred to as blank B. Yes, Roland?
Pulmonary circulation and systemic circulation.
That's right. That's the end of the first round.
Government, through an act of parliament, set up the Ghana Education Trust Fund, GET Fund, to provide funds to supplement the provision of education at all levels.
We have endeavored for the last 7 years to reach every corner of this country. And I can say without any fear of contradiction that there's not a corner in this country that we have not got at least 2-3 projects going.
All the 7 public universities, 10 polytechnics, the 24,387 primary schools, 7,423 junior high schools, 493 senior high schools, but 38 colleges of education have undergone a period of renaissance and rapid facelifting. Needless to say, the Ghana Education Trust Fund has paid its dues in that direction.
At the end of the first round, our scores are Keta Senior High School 16 points, Presbyterian Boys Senior High School 18 points. Good job, contestants. This contest is very, very close and we have a very long way ahead of us. Let's begin round 2, our round for applied science. The questions in this round are more applied in nature. We'd like to find out how well you apply simple concepts like the ones we saw in the first round to explaining certain situations. Okay? If you're able to answer your question, you get 3 points. If you answer partially, you get partial credit. If your answer is wrong, it's passed on for a bonus point. If there are no calculations involved in the question that you receive, you have 15 seconds to present an answer. If there are calculations, you have 30 seconds in which to do so. Let's begin this time on my right with Presbyterian Boys. Your question. When a photograph is taken with a camera in poor lighting conditions, the flash is employed to give sufficient light to the scene. Why is this necessary? Yes, Roland.
This is because for an image to be formed on the photographic plate, you need light from the object to be to enter through the camera onto the photographic plate. In presence of poor light, you need extra light from the flash to be incident on the object and then to be reflected into the camera to give the image on the photographic plate. To give a brighter image on the photographic plate.
Okay, I'll give you 2 out of 3. The reason is because of the nature of the photographic plate itself. It's a light-sensitive material, okay? If you have an analog camera, you have a celluloid material or a film, okay, which is light-sensitive. If you have a digital camera, you have what is called a charge-coupled device, a CCD, which is also light-sensitive. So you must have enough light coming from the scene to impinge on this light-sensitive thing to cause the image to be formed, all right? Keta Senior High, still going on with cameras. When a camera flash is used once, it takes some time before it becomes possible to use the flash again. Please explain why. Yes, Yaira.
The camera flash is contains magnesium metal it bends to give the flash. So when the flash is used once,
Ernest, I'm passing this on for a bonus. Yes, Daniel.
In using a flash, you take a lot of power from the battery or the electric source. So it takes some time for the power to be regenerated to take another flash.
Maybe if it were your major question, I might give you 1 or something. But for a bonus, nothing at all. Sorry, Daniel. The camera flash is actually a discharge tube that requires a high voltage to operate. Okay? It gets its power from a battery, that's right. But not directly. There's a capacitor that stores energy from the battery, and then the flash takes the energy from the capacitor in order to operate. So when it goes off once, it needs time for the capacitor to recharge from the battery once again. So it takes a bit of time before you can use it again. Isn't that very interesting? All right. Your own question, Presbyterian Boys. In the stem of dicotyledonous plants, the vascular bundles are arranged in a cylindrical pattern. What do you think is the importance of this? Yes, Daniel.
It's arranging a cylindrical pattern to give extra strength to the plant, the stem of the plant.
How?
It's also used helpful in secondary thickening of the get.
Because it's in a cylindrical form, it gives strength to the stem.
How?
Like
2 out of 3. You see that I'm becoming more and more demanding. All right. The arrangement helps the stem to withstand bending forces. Bending forces, yes. So it gives us strength, it gives us support by helping it to prevent bending forces. For his work in genetics, Gregor Mendel used the garden pea plant. Why do you think he chose this particular plant? Yes, Ernest.
This is because it was very easy to grow, or it matured very fast, and also it had different traits for which you can study them. And also the
Add something, the lally.
And also the pea plant can be self-pollinated. That's to prevent difficulty in the experiment.
2 out of 3. Yes, the lally, you are right. Because it is self-pollinated, it's possible to get homozygous plants. The other one which you started talking about, Ernest, but not in such detail, was that because it has many contrasting characteristics. For example, tall versus dwarf, smooth versus wrinkled seeds, green and yellow pods, purple and white flowers, so many contrasting characteristics. Presbyterian boys, during celebrations, balloons are released into the air. What is the gas inside these balloons, and why that choice of gas? Yes, Dav.
The gas is helium, and they chose helium because helium is less dense, and so it can be displaced to a greater height.
Anything else?
And it's not combustible. Yeah, it's not combustible. So it will not react with oxygen. It's not reactive.
Okay, I'll give you the math. Keta, molybdenum is used as a filament in light bulbs. Give 3 properties that make molybdenum suitable for this purpose. 3 of them. Yes, the lally.
Molybdenum has a high melting point. It also has a good characteristic spectra, and also it has good lighting properties.
It also does not readily combine with oxygen to form its oxides.
1 out of 3. The one is for the lally's first answer, that it has a high melting point, okay? So that it can glow without melting. Other things you could have told me, it has high electrical conductivity. High electrical conductivity, and it's also malleable and ductile. A man and the son take 10 days to weed a farm. Working alone, the man takes 18 days to weed the farm. How long will the son take to weed this farm? Yes, Dav?
22.5 days.
Yes. A farmer takes 8 hours to plant maize on a hectare of land. If he works with his wife, they take 5 hours. How long will the wife take if she works alone? Yes, the lally.
13.3 hours. 13.33 hours.
Yes. Presbyterian boys. In the lead storage battery, that is what is locally known as car battery, the electrodes are immersed in a solution of H2SO4. Why is a hydrometer used to determine whether the battery is discharged or fully charged? Yes, Dav?
The hydrometer is used to measure the density of the this electrolyte, that's the density of the sulfuric acid. When it is discharged, the density falls. It means that more of water has been produced in a redox reaction, so the density will decrease.
Yes. Keta, we are still talking about car batteries. We are still on the car battery. When is the H2SO4 of the electrolyte of the lead storage battery consumed? When is it consumed? When? Yes, Ernest.
That's when there's oxidation of the anode. The lead goes into solution as lead 2+, which combines with the sulfate ion to form this lead sulfate. Hence, it's consumed.
I'll give you 2 out of 3. You could have made it a lot simpler. Your chemical reaction, the reactants are fine, but it's not the lead itself. It's not the lead metal. It's the lead oxide. Okay, so it's the lead oxide which combines with the SO4 in the presence of H+ and 2 electrons to give you the lead sulfate. You could simply have told me when the battery is discharged. Okay, when it's discharged. Last pair of questions. This question, please give me answer very, very carefully. Huh? Okay, I'm looking for mathematical literacy. Okay, so rationalize the denominator. I have an expression. 2 root 5 plus 3 all over 2 root 5 minus 5. Yes, Daniel.
35 plus 16 root 5 all over minus 5.
Yes, that's correct. You could have simplified a little bit. What is 35 over 5? Rationalize the denominator. Also give me your answer very carefully. Root 7 minus root 2 all over root 7 plus root 2. Yes, Ernest.
9 minus 14 root 5 all over 5.
Try again. Yes, Yaira.
9 minus root 14 all over 5.
Last chance. Yes, the Lali.
9 minus 2 root 14 all over 5.
Yes. That's the end of the second round.
Government, through an act of parliament, set up the Ghana Education Trust Fund, GET Fund, to provide funds to supplement the provision of education at all levels.
We have endeavored for the last 7 years to reach every corner of this country, and I can say without any fear of contradiction that there's not a corner in this country that we have not got at least 2-3 projects going.
All the 7 public universities, 10 polytechnics, the 24,387 primary schools, 7,423 junior high schools, 493 senior high schools, the 38 colleges of education have undergone a period of renaissance and rapid facelifting. Needless to say, the Ghana Education Trust Fund has paid its dues in that direction.
At the end of the second round, the scores are Keta Senior High School, 30 points, Presbyterian Boys Senior High School, 34 points. The contest continues to be close. We'll begin round 3, our problem of the day. So far, the questions you've had have not taken too much of your time, 30 seconds maximum. The problem of the day is expected to engage you a bit more, and so you have 3 minutes from the time I ask you to begin in which to present your answer. The problem of the day is worth 10 points. Let's turn over our sheets and read the problem of the day together. Consider the following half cells and their corresponding electrode potentials in volts. I have equations going from A to F. Listen carefully. A, ClO minus plus H2O plus 2 electrons going to Cl minus plus 2OH minus, positive 0.59. B, SN4 plus 2 electrons going to SN2 plus, positive 0.15. C, Fe3 plus 3 electrons going to Fe, negative 0.04. D, MnO4 minus plus 5 electrons plus 8H plus going to Mn2 plus 4H2O, positive 1.49. E, CD2 plus 2 electrons going to CD, negative 0.40. And finally F, H2O2 plus 2H plus 2 electrons going to 2H2O, positive 1.78. Now, this is what you are to do. 1. Write a balanced equation for the reaction of a cell that can be formed from D and F and calculate its initial EMF. 2. Determine if the following reactions will occur spontaneously or not. For those that will be spontaneous, please calculate the initial EMF. First one, A. 3CD plus 2Fe3 plus going to 3CD2 plus 2Fe. B. SN4 plus Cl minus plus 2OH minus going to ClO minus plus H2O plus SN2 plus. And C. ClO minus plus 2H2O, plus H2O plus Fe going to Fe3 plus Cl minus plus 2OH minus. Contestants, this is our problem of the day. Good luck, you may begin.
Government, through an act of parliament, set up the Ghana Education Trust Fund, GET Fund, to provide funds to supplement the provision of education at all levels.
We have endeavored for the last 7 years to reach every corner of this country, and I can say without any fear of contradiction that there's not a corner in this country that we have not got at least 2-3 projects going.
All the 7 public universities, 10 polytechnics, the 24,387 primary schools, 7,423 junior high schools, 493 senior high schools, the 38 colleges of education have undergone a period of renaissance and rapid facelifting. Needless to say, the Ghana Education Trust Fund has paid its dues in that direction.
Please send a representative from your school to present your solution on the whiteboard, as we have them there. The contestants have presented their solutions. Before we award the marks, let's look at the ideal solution from our consultants. First one, to write a balanced equation for the reaction that will be formed from D and F and calculate EMF. Take F, then reverse D. Okay, so F is the equation that was given earlier, the reaction that was given earlier, with electrode potential positive 1.78. If you reverse D, you will have Mn2 plus 4H2O going to MnO4 minus plus 8H plus 5 electrons, and this should give you an electrode potential of negative 1.49. Call F, equation A, call the reverse of dB. In that case, you take A multiplied by 5, take B multiplied by 2, then add the 2, and you should have a balanced equation which reads 5H2O2 plus 2Mn2 plus going to 2MnO4 minus plus 2H2O plus 6H plus. For getting this balanced equation right, 2 points. The initial EMF is simply calculated by taking the electrode potentials and adding them. So 1.78 plus negative 1.49 to give positive 0.29 volts. A correct calculation, 2 points. Next, the second part, consider some equations and decide whether they are spontaneous or not spontaneous, and calculate EMF for the spontaneous ones. The first one, if you look at it, you'll need to inspect what has been given you. If you inspect reaction C and the reverse of reaction E, you should be able to get that, and you can calculate an EMF for this. So you take negative 0.04 and then subtract negative 0.4 because those are the electrode potentials associated with C and the reverse of E. So if you calculate this, you should get positive 0.36 volts for the EMF, and since it's positive, you can say that it's spontaneous. 2 points for this. Next, again, by inspection, if you look at reaction B and the reverse of reaction A, it will get you where you need to be with that reaction. And so you take the electrode potentials for those, 0.15 minus 0.59, and you should get negative 0.44 volts for the EMF of that reaction. And since it's negative, you can say that this is not spontaneous. Finally, again by inspection, if you look at reaction A and take the reverse of reaction C, you should have 0.59 minus negative 0.04 volts. This will give you positive 0.63 volts. The EMF is positive, and so this is a spontaneous reaction. 2 points again, giving a total of 10 points. All right, our contestants. Keta, Senior High, you did very well. Everything is right, but it appears that you didn't have enough time to conclude on your last equation. So you have done a correct calculation of EMF. Everything is right. It saddens me to take 1 point from you because you didn't tell us whether it's spontaneous or not. Okay, so 9 out of 10. Presbyterian boys, no trouble with this one, a perfect score. That's the end of the problem of the day and the end of round 3. Let's begin round 4. Most questions in this round involve calculations, so you have 30 seconds in which to present an answer to a question which is asked. If there are no calculations involved, you still have your 15 seconds in which to present an answer. A correctly answered question fetches 3 points. A wrongly answered question is passed on for a bonus point. Let's begin with you, Keta. Blood flowing from the right ventricle to the ovaries passes through all of the following except A, aorta, B, left atrium, C, right atrium, D, ovarian artery, E, left ventricle. Yes, Delali.
Right atrium.
Right atrium is right. Presbyterian boys, answer in one attempt as well. Blood flowing from the ovaries to the left atrium passes through all of the following except A, ovarian vein, B, pulmonary vein, C, pulmonary artery, D, left ventricle, and E, posterior vena cava. Yes, Daniel?
Left ventricle.
That's right. Elemental sulfur is burnt in excess oxygen to give gaseous SO2. Calculate the mass of SO2 formed when 1,000 grams of sulfur of 85% purity are burnt in excess air. Atomic mass for sulfur is 32 and that for oxygen is 16.
1,700 grams.
Yes. .490 grams of impure sulfur are burnt in excess oxygen. If the mass of SO2 obtained is 882 grams, calculate the purity of the sulfur. Atomic mass of sulfur is still 32 and that for oxygen is also still 16. Dav?
90%.
Yes, 90%. A radioactive liquid is prepared and 2 samples are drawn from it. A 10-gram sample and a 20-gram sample. After 3 seconds, 9 grams of the 10-gram sample remains, and after 4 seconds, 6 grams of the 20-gram sample remains. What is the decay constant of the liquid? Please leave your answer in terms of the natural logarithm. For a bonus, the right answer is the natural log of 3 per second. Natural log of 3 per second. I will leave this one to you to attempt at home. A radioactive liquid is prepared and is found to have a decay constant given by lambda is equal to natural log of 4 multiplied by 10 to the power negative 6 per second. If 1 gram of the sample remains after a time of 2.0 times 10 to the power 6 seconds, what was the original mass of radioactive liquid? Yes, Dav?
16 grams.
That's right. 25 to the power x minus 5 to the power of the expression x plus 1 plus 6 is equal to 0. Yes, Delali.
S is equal to log 2 over log 5, or S is equal to log 3 over log 5.
Yes, that's right. Please solve the equation. 4 to the power 2x minus 4 to the power of the expression x plus 2 plus 48 is equal to 0.
X is equal to log to the base 4 of 8 and log to the base 4 of 6.
Try again. Yes, Roland.
X is equal to log 12 over log 4, or x is equal to 0.
2 out of 3. The right answer is x is equal to 1 or x is equal to log 12 over log 4, or if you don't like log to the base 10, you can go to log to the base 4 of 12. A compound S decomposes in a second order reaction. If the rate of decomposition is 4.8 times 10 to the negative 3 mole per decimeter cubed per second, when the concentration is 0.02 mole per decimeter cubed, what will be the rate if the concentration is 0.012 mole per decimeter cubed? Yes, Ernest.
1.92 times 10 power minus 4 mole per dm cube per second.
Try again. Yes, Dalali.
It's 5.76 times 10 to the power minus 8 mole per dm.
One more chance. Yes, Yaira.
1.728 times 10 to the power minus 5 mole per dm cube per second.
For a bonus. Yes, Daniel.
28.8 times 10 to the power minus 9 mole per dm cube per second.
No. Yaira, you were closest. You did something with your exponent. The right answer is 1.728 times 10 to the power negative 3 mole per decimeter cubed per second. Presbyterian boys, your own question. The rate of decomposition of Q is second order with respect to Q. Calculate the rate constant if the rate of decomposition is 2.7 times 10 to the negative 5 mole per decimeter cubed per second when the concentration is 0.03 mole per decimeter cubed. Give the units of the constant. Yes, Roland.
3 times 10 to the minus 2 per mole dm cubed per second.
Yes. That's the end of the fourth round.
Government, through an act of parliament, set up the Ghana Education Trust Fund, GET Fund, to provide funds to supplement the provision of education at all levels.
We have endeavored for the last 7 years to reach every corner of this country, and I can say without any fear of contradiction that there's not a corner in this country that we have not got at least 2-3 projects going.
All the 7 public universities, 10 polytechnics, the 24,387 primary schools, 7,423 junior high schools, 493 senior high schools, the 38 colleges of education have undergone a period of renaissance and rapid facelifting. Needless to say, the Ghana Education Trust Fund has paid its dues in that direction.
At the end of the fourth round, Keta Senior High School has 51 points. Presbyterian Boys Senior High School has 62 points. Round 5 comes to you in 2 parts. For the first part, I'm going to give you statements. When you get your statement, please consider it and let me know whether the statement is true or false. If you answer correctly, you'll get 2 points. If your answer is incorrect, you lose a precious point from your score. You may choose not to answer, in which case the statement is passed on to your opponent for the possibility of 2 full points. Good luck. Let's begin with Presbyterian Boys. Your statement. A traveling wave moving back and forth between fixed boundaries will set up a stationary wave. Yes, Roland?
False.
Oh, no, Roland. A matrix can be multiplied by a number. Yes, Delali?
It's true.
Yes, it's true. The ganglia of the parasympathetic nervous system lie close to the spinal cord. Yes, Dav?
It's false.
Yes, it's false. It's close to the effector organs. Keta, whereas NaHCO3 and Na2CO3 are both soluble in water, the corresponding salts of magnesium are insoluble in water. Delali?
It's true.
No, Delali. Both solid CO2 and ammonium chloride sublime when heated. Yes, Dav?
It's true.
Yes, it's true. When the surface of a drum is struck, standing waves are generated. Yes, Delali?
It's true.
Yes, it's true. The direction of motion of an object is in the direction of the velocity vector. Yes, Dav?
It's true.
Yes, it's true. Parasympathetic stimulation causes contraction of the bladder. Yes, Delali?
It's false.
Oh, no. The medulla oblongata is continuous with the spinal cord. Yes, Dav?
It's true.
Yes, it's true. In thin layer chromatography, using silica gel as support, separation of compounds is by partitioning between 2 liquid layers. Delali?
False.
Yes, it's false. It's by absorption. The volume of a prism is base area times height. Dav?
It's true.
Yes, it's true. The cerebellum controls blood pressure? Yes, Delali?
It's false.
It's false. It's the medulla oblongata that controls blood pressure. Carbon occurs in nature both in the pure and combined states. Yes, Dav?
False.
Oh no, Dav. When struck, a drum gives off a pure note of a single frequency. Yes, Delali?
It's false.
It's false. Because like most musical instruments, it will also give off many harmonics or overtones. All right. That's the end of the first part of round 5. And so we are moving on to the second part of the round. I'm going to ask you to solve some riddles. I will provide you with clues. What you have to do is to try and solve the riddle. If you solve the riddle on the first clue, 5 points. If you solve it on the second clue, 4 points. If you solve it on the third or any clue after that, 3 points. In order to solve a riddle, you must alert me. You do so by ringing your bell. May I hear your bell, Keta Senior High? And yours, Presbyterian Boys. Thank you. When you ring the bell, it means you have an answer ready. I will not wait for an answer. I am not partial to anything. My name suggests that I am in bits and pieces. My parts consist of, yes.
Partial fractions.
That's right. They solved it on the second clue. Second clue, 4 points. Silver and gold I have none. But if I have friends like them, I should be deemed rich. I share a block of flats with the two who have been in money since times of old. I happen to be one of the first metals used by man or woman about 5,000 years ago. Because of my high electrical conductivity. Who rang?
We rank.
Yes.
For copper.
Copper is right. I am a small popular mammal. I belong to the group of mammals that can be distinguished from other mammals by their number of incisors. Even though I have a relatively long pregnancy period of 5 months, yes, go ahead.
Rabbit.
No, that's incorrect. Presbyterian boys, we continue with the clues for your benefit. Even though I have a relatively long pregnancy period of 5 months, I give birth on the average to only 4 young ones. I have a very delicate skin covered with shiny spinous hair. My closest relative is the porcupine. Those who don't know me, when they hear my name, can mistake me for a lawn mower. Who am I? Yes, go ahead.
Hedgehog.
Oh, no. Oh, no. It's a grass cutter. I am a close associate of work. And as a result, I'm also found in the presence of forces and velocities. All right, go ahead.
Energy.
Hey, how many answers at once? I'm passing it on. I am a favorite of all politicians, even though they are unlikely to know who I really am. Yes.
Power.
Power is right. That's the end of round 5.
Government, through an act of parliament, set up the Ghana Education Trust Fund, GET Fund, to provide funds to supplement the provision of education at all levels.
We have endeavored for the last 7 years to reach every corner of this country, and I can say without any fear of contradiction that there's not a corner in this country that we have not got at least 2-3 projects going.
All the 7 public universities, 10 polytechnics, the 24,387 primary schools, 7,423 junior high schools, 493 senior high schools, the 38 colleges of education have undergone a period of renaissance and rapid facelifting. Needless to say, the Ghana Education Trust Fund has paid its dues in that direction.
At the end of the contest, the final scores are Keta Senior High School, 68 points, Presbyterian Boys Senior High School, 72 points. Keta Senior High School, you did very well. Unfortunately, today was not your day. But never mind, I shall look forward to seeing you in the third place contest. Well done again. Presbyterian Boys Senior High School, you have a place in the grand finale. There's more work to do. I shall look forward to seeing you. Congratulations on winning this one. Viewers, thank you for joining us for another excellent contest. I know you don't want to miss out on our next one, which is going to be the second of our semi-finals. That contest is going to be between Opokuwari School and Wesley Girls High School. It should be as good as this one, if not better. So please join us for that one. For now, thank you for being with us. Goodbye.